Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions and bedcrafts. Another very beautiful Friday morning, and once again we're back with our predictions as usual. You know, and we take a look at football matches going on across the globe, and we select a few of those games and make very picks on the recent results for each of the teams. That played for today, and today we have games once again, and short while we'll be looking at this match. But before we head on, one also urge you to remember that there is a VIP special membership. We have this membership ongoing in our channel. You can always join when with the link in the description of this very video. Anyway, you see join channel membership around this very video. Okay, as well. You know, and all right. With that said, we're to the business of today, and we have the first game for today, it is in the Danish second division. We have Fremad Amager who will be up against the AB Copenhagen. And we start looking at the stats for these two sides. We see for the home side, Fremad, it is two victories and four losses out of the last six games. And AB, on the other hand, have had six victories out of six. A very perfect, scoreline in recent games that they had so far. And when you look at how they fared from home and away perspective, you can see Fremad, the last 10 home matches that they had so far produced four wins for them, as well as four draws, but have also lost two games in the last 10 home matches. And the away side, AB Copenhagen, the last 10 away games they had so far produced nine wins and one loss in the last 10 away games. So, that's a side that is very, very good and they're high flying at the moment. 90% victory in the last 10 away games for the away side. That's what it shows. All right, we'll also look at how these two sides fared on head-to-head basis. You can see the last time both teams met, it was AB Copenhagen who actually won on that very occasion. It was, a 5-0 victory for AB Copenhagen. And prior to that, we also saw AB Copenhagen once again defeating Fremad by 5 goals. So that's to say the last two meetings between the two sides saw AB Copenhagen winning by a scoreline that is quite high by 5 goals to nil. So we are expecting to see the away side AB Copenhagen also dominate in this one. Are we win out shortly? That's our verdict for that very encounter. All right, we head to the next for today. It is a game in the German Bundesliga. We have FC Augsburg who will be facing Borussia Dortmund. All right, and looking at the stats for Augsburg, the home side, it is one victory and one draw, but they've lost four games in the last six matches. And when we look at the away side, Borussia Dortmund, they had three victories and two draws. Out of the last six games, they also had one loss as well. When you look down on how they fared for home and away basis, you see for the home side, Augsburg, the last 10 home matches for Augsburg have only resulted to two wins and a draw, and they've lost seven games out of the last 10 home matches. That's very poor record for Augsburg. And for our away side, Borussia Dortmund, it is six victories out of the last 10 away matches, as well as three draws and one loss in the last 10 away games. Now that loss was actually in the match against Bayern Munich. Aside Bayern Munich, they've not really lost to any other team in the Bundesliga. All right, and okay, when you look at how they fared on head-to-head basis, even though the last time they met, we saw Augsburg. That was last season beating Dortmund by 1 goal to nil on two occasions. Also, we also saw them beating Dortmund by 2 goals to one. The last two meetings actually favored Augsburg, but here we've seen the recent form, and we know that Augsburg are in very, very poor form at the moment, and we're going to give it to their away side who have actually shown a very much better form, and we expect to see their away side, Borussia Dortmund, winning out shortly in this one. So away win, that's our verdict for that very game. Okay, on to the next game for today. It is in the Russia Premier League. We'll have CSKA Moscow will be up against Nizhny Novgorod. And if we look at the stats for these two sides, you could see for CSKA Moscow, it is four victories and a draw, as well as one loss in the last six games for CSKA Moscow. And Novgorod, on the other hand, have had just a draw out of the last six games. They've lost almost everything. They've lost 5 games out of the last six matches. That's a very, very poor result for the away side. Okay, innocent games. And when you look at how these two sides fared from home and away basis, you can see CSK Moscow winning 8 games and drawing two in the last 10 home matches for CSK Moscow. They've actually won 80% of the home matches, in recent games. And for the away side, Novgorod, the last 10 away games that they had saw them having a one win, just one win, and 9 losses. That is 90% losses for the last 10 away games for the away side. Novgorod, the last time they met it was CSKA Moscow, who actually won against this very side, by 2 goals to 0 on that very occasion. And also, looking at recent form for both sides, we know that CSK Moscow is actually the better side, in terms of form, and Novgorod is actually very poor, losing 9 matches out of the last 10 away games, and that's a lot of losses out there. So we do expect to see the home side doing very well. CSK Moscow taking the day in this very encounter. So we go with home side winning outrightly as our verdict in this very game. So home win, that's what we expect. All right, lastly, we have a game in the Northern Ireland Premier League. We'll have Glentoran who will be facing Portadown. And we start to look at the stats for these two sides. We could see for Glentoran at the home side in the last 10 home matches, okay? In the last 6 games, rather, we saw them winning 4 matches and a draw and also losing once in the last 6 games. And we side Portadown have had 3 victories and 3 losses as well, you know. And when you look at how these two sides are fared from home and away basis, if we look down on how they fared in recent 10 home matches and 10 away games respectively, we could see for the home side, Glentoran, the last 10 home matches have resulted to 4 victories for them, as well as 4 draws in the last 10 home games. They've also lost 2 matches as well, not the best of result, but they're actually quite fine. And when you look at the way side Portadown, they've had 3 victories in the last 10 away games, but have lost 7 matches out of the last 10 away matches. So that's to say 70% of the time they've actually lost, their away matches in the last 10 away games. That's a very poor result for the away side, Portadown. And on head-to-head basis, we could see the last time they met it was a 1-0 victory for Glentoran from away on that very occasion. And we also saw Glentoran also from away beating this very side, prior to that very one by 2 goals to 0 from away. So Glentoran have actually shown dominance in recent games between these two sides. So we are going with Glentoran, to take the day in this very encounter. It is at the home side to win outrightly. Glentoran to win that verdict for that very encounter. And that will bring our predictions for you today on Betcraft to a conclusion. We wish you the very, very best of luck and hope your ticket goes great. Remember to play responsibly as these are football matches. Sometimes it may not always be what was expected. Sometimes, other factors might, play in and, we'll have a different result. But we hope for a very good outing today. And also note that other games that we have for you today will be on our VIP special group. You can always endeavor to join. Find the link in the description of the video. You can always find the link from there, and as well as anyway you see join channel membership around this very video. With that said, tomorrow is another day. We'll be back with our predictions, but until that time, keep winning.